Welcome to the only daily podcast focusing on compliance news of the day. Each morning, start your day with a cup of coffee and Tom Fox, the voice of compliance, to hear about 4 of the top compliance, corruption, or leadership stories you will need to start your day. The Daily Compliance News is a production of the Compliance Podcast Network.
First, a word from this month's sponsor, Ethico.
In the delicate arena of compliance, every conversation matters. Traditional methods can leave callers feeling unheard, but Ethico changes the game. Our empathetic interview technique reshapes compliance calls into powerful, compassionate interactions, ensuring no crucial detail is missed. It's about creating a conversation that matters, that resonates, that makes a difference. Be the change in your compliance approach. See the transformation for yourself at ethico.com/CPN. Book a demo, try our free ROI calculator, and explore the white paper by Tom Fox, The ROI of Compliance.
The Daily Compliance News for May 16, 2024, the Violate the DPA edition. And we begin with that story from Reuters, as the Department of Justice has announced that Boeing breached its obligation under the 2021 DPA that kept the plane maker from a criminal prosecution following the fatal 737 MAX crashes in 2018 and 2019. This finding raises the prospect that Boeing will face criminal prosecutions it had previously avoided and could result in fresh penalties and deepen the ongoing corporate crisis of the organization. Not too many companies violate DPAs, but when they do so in this manner, it's not going to be good. Next up, from the Wall Street Journal, Risk and Compliance Journal, Dylan Tokar reporting that the U.S. has sanctioned 3 companies and a Russian national that officials say was involved in an alleged scheme by Russian businessman Oleg Deripaska to unfreeze more than $1.5 billion in shares he controls in an Austrian construction company. Tuesday's action comes after he tried to sell his shares in a major Austrian construction company through what U.S. authorities described as an opaque and complex divestiture. The FDIC goes to Congress after the scathing report on its toxic culture, which was released last week, and as you might guess, it was very ugly. Democrats expressed dismay over his responses to the crisis at the agency. One congresswoman appeared to call for him to resign, as Republicans have been doing so for months. In a bruising session that lasted more than 3 hours, members repeatedly asked Greenberg what he planned to do to change his behavior in response to the reports that he had berated employees. Of course, he said, "I don't berate people. I just tell them when they're wrong." It's a huge fooar. Finally, from Bloomberg, Robert Menendez, who's actually gone under the radar because his trial has started. Yes, the gold bars at home trials has started, but I am not a crook defense because my wife did it. Yep, he's claiming that his wife took all the bribes and he just, I guess, didn't know about them at home. Nevertheless, the trial has started literally in the same courthouse where Donald Trump, or down the street from where Donald Trump is in trial for his alleged criminal actions. But everybody's focused on Trump and not Menendez. The U.S. has given its opening statements, and next we will have Menendez give his opening statement through his attorneys, where he will no doubt talk about it's all his wife's fault. Well, good luck with that, Senator Menendez. As I mentioned at the start of this podcast, this month's sponsor for the entire Compliance Podcast Network is Ethico. Have you ever wondered how to show the ROI of your compliance program? Have you struggled with the budgeting process, getting the funds you want for your compliance program? Well, I've partnered with Ethico to put together a white paper on the ROI of compliance, which shows you not only how to demonstrate ROI, but also how to speak finance when you're sitting across from the CFO with your budget proposals. Check out the website and get the white paper. The Daily Compliance News is a production of the Compliance Podcast Network and a proud member of C-Suite Radio. Thanks so much for listening. I hope you'll join me again tomorrow.